Okay, so I'm back. I'm ready to do another website refresh. Today is for Cooper City Animal Clinic. And I've worked with Patricia and Alex over there for the last month or so doing their Google Ads. And we're seeing a big spike in performance, and they've expressed interest in possibly doing a website refresh. So the object here today is kind of the normal. I give myself 2 hours to redesign their website in XD, and then I present it to them and see what they think. Of course, this website works perfectly fine. It's perfectly suitable for what they're doing and what we're doing. We're getting the conversions that we need. However, I think there are some improvements that we can make to the website overall to increase those conversions. And then just some functionality things, especially when we talk about the mobile side of the website. So I'm going to go ahead and bring it up, and then we'll kind of talk through the old website, and then we'll go through the redesign. So on the initial load, if I just refresh this here, you'll see that there are two pop-ups that are currently functioning. So one is for the COVID-19 and one is for the social media. So I understand that these are temporary and these aren't going to be permanent. I just think that having two of these pop-ups back to back kind of gives the user a bad experience, more or less. It's just more things that I have to click through just to get to the website. So it's just not a very good landing page experience. Second off, I think that the hero image here suffers a lot. There's kind of a rule in web design that if you don't understand what the practice does or what the website is in under 6 seconds, then you'll most likely lose some traffic. So whenever I first land here, I think that this image doesn't do a great job of selling me on why I should go to Cooper City Animal Hospital, right? I think the headline is okay, South Florida's favorite veterinarian clinic, and call to action. Those are two great things to have in the hero section. I just think here it's not doing a good job with the imagery. And it has multiple slides. Again, here, this wording here, the finest in veterinarian care, kind of becomes hard to read when it's put against this parking sign. So either darken that image up or replace it with a different image. I would vote replace it with a different image just because, again, this doesn't really provide us with any value to why I should come to this animal hospital. I think this one is more along the lines of what we need to do. Show that you guys work with animals and that you're passionate for them. And also something that I noticed is every slide kind of has a different call to action. So depending on what slide that they land on, they're going to get a different result. So that can be beneficial, but I think ultimately you have 3 that are request appointment. Yeah, and then 1 call today. So I just feel like, that's a little confusing, and some people might get the call today and some people might get the request appointment. And ultimately, I think we should funnel them all into one form of communication. So moving on down here, we have the navigation at the bottom of the hero, which is interesting. I think it works. I don't think it's bad. It's pretty clear. Personally, I would like to see it moved up towards the top, and we'll kind of go over that when we go over my design. And then also there's a wide variety of buttons here. Ultimately, this is just more pages for users to get lost in. SEO purposes, I understand having all these services pages. I don't think that we need a testimonial page. We can kind of scatter that throughout the design. The contact us should be an appointment request. We can put additional information on that page, but that should be the main focus because we want to drive new traffic there. Veterinarian topics, this doesn't tell me, if I'm just coming to this page for the first time, this doesn't really tell me what I'm going to learn there or what that page even is. About us, again, I think, we can kind of fit all this stuff onto one page. New patients is good. I like that you guys have online forms, this kind of stuff, but I would, again, probably just make this all one page, especially when we talk about like new patient specials, because right now the new patient specials, there's no specials even available. And I think that's something that we can really hone in on. And again, you can see if I navigate to a page and then come back home, I'm forced to go through these pop-ups. So scrolling down here, we kind of have this 4 little grid section here, further breaking down the menu. Again, I think that we don't have a clear call to action here. There's kind of a sensory overload with all the buttons, right? We have all these up here and then all these buttons down here. And a lot of these buttons are kind of doing the same thing. As we scroll down, you can see we have a nice video, which I think is great. We should really be pushing this a lot heavier. And something I'll talk about a little more in the future too. And then on the right-hand side, we have the appointment request form. So this is good. I like that this is on the home page. I think it takes up a lot of dead space here. I don't think that we need to give this whole column to this. We can bring some of this text over after this form. In talking about that text, there's a lot of copy here on the home page. And a lot of it, I just don't think people are going to read. People are more prone to read headlines and 1 to 2, maybe 3 sentence paragraphs, and bulleted points. So I would take or strip some of this copy away and just make it a little more design friendly and easier for people to understand what you do without having to read these chunks of text. And then again, here you have a phone number that's just text and I can't click to call. And then, you're also, referencing your own website, even though I'm on the website. And also you have a different phone number down here. And so that could be pretty confusing. Reading this, I can tell that that's, maybe for texting, so it routes differently, but just in these 2 paragraphs, I have 2 different phone numbers, so I'm not really sure who to contact or who to call there. Moving on down to the team section, I love this team section. I love the idea of it. I don't think the implementation of having these like sliders go by is the best way of doing it. Basically I can only see one person at a time. It kind of slows things down. But what I do like is that you're kind of utilizing or showing off who your staff is, right? And I think when you make that personal connection, that is going to sell your brand and your practice a lot more than having cold stock photos. So I love this. I love the picture of the dogs in here. I think that we lean on this even heavier and kind of update these photos and put them in the design, and we put them big. And then whenever they hover over it, maybe they can read more about you guys. So I love that. I love testimonials on the homepage right below it. I think that's a great idea. And then below here we have a blog and a newsletter sign up. I think, again, this section works. It's a little wonky with the design layout here. But moving on, we have the map and the office hours, again, good, and then the social media links. So like I said, overall, I think that this design works. It's functional. There's a few things that I would change here and there. And what I would like to do is go ahead and jump over into what I've designed and what I kind of see for the brand. So this is my first time designing for this brand, so I'm not sure of all the ins and outs, but basically just wanted to give my best shot of it. So here you can see, Give me 1 second here. Just make that bigger. Okay. So this is, whoops. Okay. All right. So here we got the two designs side by side. So on the left, you can see this is the redesigned version, and then this is the current version. So I'm just going to kind of scroll through them real quick just to see how a brief overview of what I would change when compared to the old site. And you can see that the new design is a much cleaner, easier to read, less text, more image-based type of website. And ultimately, I think that is going to help with conversions, especially when we talk about the mobile side of things. I think that this site on the right really struggles whenever it goes down into mobile. And if I were to guess, and what normal web statistics show is, roughly 60% of your web traffic is coming from mobile. So when you think about that long block of text here, and you scale that down into mobile, that's taking up pages and pages and swipes of scrolls to get past that. So I think that this design here kind of does a better job, especially when we're talking about that mobile side. So to kind of go through it, basically what I did here is I put a large image of a dog up front. It sends a clear message on what you guys do. And then I adjusted the headline. So, we could always work with this copy. It's not the best copy ever, but I think that this is a better value proposition to what you guys do. You're a top-rated animal hospital in Cooper City, and your whole mission is we make pets happy and healthy. And then we put your phone number right there. On desktop, we can make this click to call, and then of course on mobile it will also be click to call. And then we also moved the navigation up towards the top, simplified it, made it a little easier and clearer with things where you need to go and what you're looking for. So if you're a new patient, boom, you click on the new patient button. It will have the specials. It will have the forms that you need. That's where we tell them what we're about. Services, we can list all the services that you have on your old website here. That way you keep that SEO ranking and show all those services that you have. And then we have our blog and then a book appointment button. So another thing that I added to the hero section here was the $99 new patient special. And obviously pricing can vary. The $99 is just what I put up. But I think it's very important to have a new patient special, especially if you're trying to attract new patients. Now, we could package this deal to, be like a checkup, a $99 new patient checkup, or something along those lines. But I think having a new patient special would be very valuable to bring in those new clients and kind of persuade them from going to their old animal hospital. Having a special like that entices a user. So after that, I just have a little quote here. Again, this is something that I kind of just cherry picked from the old website. I would like to refresh the wording a little bit, but I think it kind of gets the message across about who you guys are and why you are doing the services that you are. Again, here we have a 2-column little information block. So, we could talk about the checkup here, and then we can also talk about what pets you serve, as I'm not 100% sure on what pets, you guys might serve and what you guys might not. Next, we go into a how it works section. I think a how it works section is always important for any website. I think it just makes it clearer and easier for a user to understand if you can kind of break it down into 3 steps. So I would like to do something like that, where it just kind of breaks down why they should pick you and how simple it is to work with you guys. Again, the video, I said that I really wanted to highlight that, so I went ahead and made it really large, a huge call to action, because I think that if someone can watch a video of your guys' practice and kind of put a personality and a voice to the faces, ultimately you're going to build a better relationship that way, and they're going to trust you more. So the goal here is to kind of put that video front and center for users to see, and especially for new patients. I think that, this design here is focused on funneling a new patient into a lead. And I think ultimately that's the purpose of the website, right? Once they're a client of yours, you probably have them. They might not need to go to your website other than to maybe grab the phone number when it's time to book a new appointment. Other than that, I think the majority of traffic or the focus rather, should be trying to convert new clients. So again, a little quote here, giving the why statement, and then a meet the team section. So in this meet the team section, as you can see, I really focused on pulling pictures of the staff with dogs or cats or any type of animal. I want to make it obvious that all the team members love animals. That's what they're there for. It's because they're passionate about it. And I think that this grid type of layout will be better in kind of showing a new user all the staff members at once. And then whenever someone highlights or hovers over a picture, we could make it go to this transparent blue kind of effect and give a little description about the staff member and how long they've been there and what their hobbies are, and kind of make it more personality based whenever you're hovering. And then lastly, we have the blog. Again, I think the blog is super important. I just wanted to clean up the way it was presented to the user. And then finally, we have the footer down here. Just a simple sign up form if you want to get the latest news on the blog. So yeah, so that's the redesign. I'm excited to hear, if anyone has any feedback and what you guys like or what you would change. But until the next one, guys, have a good one.